More than 22 hours after flames started burning through an empty apartment building in Denver, firefighters are still on scene of that 5-alarm fire. The building at Leetsdale and Forest near Glendale was under construction when it caught fire on Friday evening. More than 150 firefighters responded. One was injured and hospitalized with minor injuries. They've since been released. Hundreds of people who live near the construction site near Leetsdale and Forest were forced to evacuate yesterday evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Mark Salinger. Firefighters battling that fire say it's one of the largest this city has seen in decades. Now the search begins to try and find a cause. Our team has been working all day to learn more. Evan Krugel spoke with neighbors who fought off the flames from their backyard. We'll get to him in just a minute, but we begin this evening with Ria Jha, who has the latest on the firefight that's still continuing right now. Ria.
Yeah, Mark, it is way smokier right now than it was before. If you look behind me, it's almost like there's a huge cloud in front of the building. And as you said, that's just a product of these firefighters fighting this fire all day. What we know about construction is that it started in 2023 and it was expected to open in May of 2026. And while some of the parts on the outside look like it was about to be done, fire officials said the inside was believed to be pretty open, which is how this fire spread so quickly.
I don't know that any of us have seen this scale of fire ever in our career.
Remnants from a historic firefight coated the sidewalks and streets around Leetsdale Drive and South Forest Street.
We were called at approximately 6:45 last night to report of a structure fire. Within 4 minutes, our crews were on scene and actively fighting fire.
On Saturday, crews continued to work to extinguish the fire. Robert Murphy, the division chief of operations for Denver Fire, hadn't seen anything like it.
I'm in my 30th year with Denver Fire, and this is the first 5-alarm fire, almost 6-alarm fire that we've ever had. The fire consumed the entire building from stem to stern, which is about 1 city block.
Murphy said crews had 2 jobs when they arrived on scene Friday night.
One, attack the main body of fire that was burning. The other component that was very important was all the structures around this building.
Aside from the apartment complex under construction, firefighters limited damage to 3 nearby homes or businesses. One firefighter suffered a shoulder injury and is now okay.
Our firefighters were here all night, through the night. You can see that they're working right now behind us.
Crews are expected to be here through Sunday fighting the fire, but know little about the cause.
We believe that the fire started here on this west end. You can see just looking at the building, that's where a bulk of the damage is, and that fire has pushed then to the east. Multiple portions of this building have collapsed. We are still unable to get inside to do any searches, which would help us determine a cause and also search for any potential victims that are inside.
Fire officials say they have multiple hotspots to put out that they will be working on. They are aware of claims that fireworks were being set off right before this fire was started, and they are investigating that as a potential cause. But again, they can't investigate this until they can actually go inside. So meanwhile, firefighters were fighting this fire. Hundreds of homes were evacuated. We're going to send it over to Evan Krugel. And Evan, you spoke with one of these people.
Yeah, Ria, that evacuation zone covered 16 blocks, including this neighborhood directly next to the construction site, where Ben Nethercutt and his family evacuated last night, unsure what they would return to this morning.
On Dakota Avenue near Leetsdale Drive, smoke filled the air as people like Ben Nethercutt returned home.
Yes.
After spending an unexpected night away.
Last night was very different.
Ben and his wife were putting their kid to bed when they saw this out the window.
It was scary because the wind was really spreading it fast.
Their backyard fence backs up to the construction site.
I ran over here and grabbed the hose and ran back to the porch and just monitored if it was creeping farther towards us. And then just kept the tree as moist as I could.
Minutes later, they were told to evacuate as fire trucks poured in.
I didn't look back because all the emergency vehicles were still coming in. I couldn't take my ass off the road, but I definitely had the thought that okay, we might not return to this home again.
Thankfully, his home is okay, other than being filled with smoke.
Yeah, it's still coming up in over us.
But his neighbors weren't so lucky.
I was watching their vinyl siding start to melt.
He's glad the damage wasn't worse and credits Denver Fire for the quick response.
They were everywhere. They did an amazing job. They're still out there doing it. Our home is fine. And so it definitely gives a very positive, fortunate, grateful perspective going into the rest of the year.
Yeah, such a scary scene for so many people living in this neighborhood. Here's a live look at that scene tonight. You can see smoke still coming off of that rubble. Firefighters say they expect that to happen for the foreseeable future. So they're asking folks in this area who might be sensitive to that to have a mask on or potentially leave this area altogether until that smoke begins to die down. Reporting live off Leedsdale, Evan Krugel, 9 News.
And what a perspective from that backyard, just how close those flames got to those homes. Evan Krugel, appreciate your reporting. Thank you.